Hey all, hey y'all. Welcome to this Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips meetup. I am Ashley-Nicole Phillips. Within Kingdom Things podcast, I use my shaman mama capabilities, my spiritual gifts, my ESP, my connection with the divine and the oneness of all things to channel healing energies and messages within the podcast. I am the biblically prophesied Messiah, as well as the Jewish culture widely awaited Mashiach, as well as the Hindu culture prophesied Kalki, full circle moment, alert, alert. So are you. Why, Ashley? What I have in me, you have in you. What you have in you, I have in me. We are all authentic frequencies, dimensions of the oneness of all things, or infinite creation, or Hashem, or Shekinah, or prime source of the Most High. Simultaneously one with all things, Shekinah, Hashem, prime source of the Most High, God, Allah. Having a human experience in order to assist with the upliftment and regeneration of all things. Which brings me to the Kingdom Things podcast, channeled human dharmic purpose. The divine says, the Most High says, we were created to be the remembrance of limitless potentials. The remembrance that we are one with all things. And the remembrance that we were created to be wellness, balance, happiness, joy. Journeying our realities with an inquisitive disposition. Understanding everything in our reality is a mirror of our energies, our embodiments, the oneness of all things, or our authentic frequential patterning. Using and demonstrating and practicing the stark mastery that we are, the mastery of unconditional love, or the remembrance that is all is within. Everything that we are, everything that we experience, not only is it synonymous with the oneness of all things, not only is it synonymous with humanity, the one energy that is the billions of human beings of planet Earth. But we are the remembrance that we were created to grow and evolve into more conscious awareness of our limitless potential, which brings me to the Kingdom Things podcast, call to action. Sit with yourself for at least 1 hour a day, every day. Ask yourself, hey soul, what is it that I need to know to come into greater conscious awareness of my limitless potentials? Wait for the answers because they will come. I channeled in Frequential Patterning Part 1. Put it in the notes so I can make sure I link it below in the description. For Frequential Patterning Part 1, there is a Part 2. I'll link both installments, renditions, editions below in the description of this Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips installment. I channeled within Frequential Patterning Part 1. There are an infinite number of ways to perceive creation or reality or energy. And there are an infinite number of dimensions, embodiments, manifestations, perspectives that are creation, the infinite dimensions of creation or reality. However, what I'm saying is, however our lingo is with the universe or ourselves or the oneness of all things, most likely it is pretty customized to your authentic frequential patterning or your soul's evolutionary journey into greater conscious awareness of your limitless potentials. Again, wait for the answers because they will come. Validate the way you perceive the answers, whether that's clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, the clairpsychic senses, the many clairpsychic senses, or synesthesia, where there's no true paradigm of understanding of how you're sensing things. But nonetheless, it is your lingo with the divine, or the oneness of all things, or yourself. If you feel like you need to reach out to get additional help for your journey of evolution or existence, don't be afraid to do so. And please do not replace any of your professional medical advice with anything you will hear or experience within Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips. Again, we are created to be the stark mastery and practice that is unconditional love, or the understanding principle of correspondence as below, so above. Everything in my reality is a mirror of the energy that I am. Hey, so what is this supposed to teach me about myself? Because I know I'm only looking at myself. I know I'm only experiencing myself. Journeying our realities, our evolution, our creation with an inquisitive disposition to bring more joy, balance, wellness to the oneness of all things, to humanity. Which brings me to the Kingdom Things podcast 2033 prophecy. By the year 2033, Hashem, Shekinah, the Most High, prime source, Allah, God says, we will be a human culture of planet Earth with no disease, no death, no war, no famine, world peace, no poverty. As disease, death, war, famine, poverty were all a part of the makings of us. Oh yeah, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking. As death, disease, war, famine, poverty, pedophilia, human trafficking, sex trafficking was all a part of our gestational phase. Or as the energy called humanity, the billions of human beings, we fell in vibrational frequential patterning, or into a dense rung of energy that said that we were separate from infinite wisdoms that we are, that said we were separate from regeneration, that said that we were separate from the remembrance that we are one with all things and that we are limitless and nothing is truly impossible. During this gestational phase, death, disease, war, famine, poverty, sex trafficking, human trafficking, pedophilia spawned a channel from my heart space, the oneness of all things, to assist me with evolving and forgiving myself to garner the wisdoms. Instead of staying enveloped in condemnation, self-condemnation, garner the wisdoms of the experience of the I am, or the self, or you, or your neighbor, as we are one. Whenever creation or infinite potentials or the tree of life needs something to continue to grow and evolve, it naturally produces it. Everything that we experience, humanity, every human being, is produce from the tree of life's benevolent disposition to continue to grow and evolve. Everything that we experience was to grow and evolve us into more, was to prepare us to be limitless potentials with the illusion of finite or dimensionality. The divine wants to see, what do we create? What do we choose to evolve into? By the way we bend our minds and focus our energy as a human culture of planet Earth, as the galactic civilization of the cosmos. Which brings me to the Keynote Things podcast, Kardashian Scale Prophecy. Within this 10-year prophecy, 2033, we will have the consciousness expansion in the masses as a collective called humanity of planet Earth, of our ascension cycle, of our realm of existence. We'll have the consciousness expansion, energetic embodiment to understand that we are a type 1, type 2, type 3 Kardashian Scale Prophecy. And if you're not aware of what the Kardashian Scale is, it was channeled, Kardashian Scale was channeled by the astronomer Kardashian. It is a template to be able to gauge the evolutionary status of a galactic civilization based off of the amount of energy the galactic civilization is able to harness. I was channeling, I was speaking, I was convening with a 10th dimensional light being colony. And they stated, hey, Ashley, be nimble. They actually brought it to my conscious awareness. They're like, hey, look up the Kardashian Scale. I had no clue what it was. They're like, hey, look up. I was telepathically speaking to them. I'll actually link the episode below in which I first gave this prophecy, which was directly after I had this conversation, this extrasensory perception, extrasensory perceptive, consciousness expanded, spiritual, sacred convening with this 10th dimensional light being, star being collective. They brought it to my conscious awareness about the Kardashian Scale Prophecy. I'll link the episode, Keynote Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips episode below that I did directly after this convening with the 10th dimensional star being, light being collective. They say, hey, Ashley, be nimble. As far as what you'll find in a type 1, type 2, type 3 Kardashian Scale Prophecy civilization, colony of the cosmos, of the ethers. Is the cosmos, the ethers, the tangible are truly one. They're like, be nimble about what you expect to find in your type 1, type 2, type 3 human being, a planet Earth colony. The Kardashian Scale should give you inspiration, should spark inspiration within your heart space, within your beingness. It's the notion that you were created to last. Not only to last, but to regenerate. Not only to last and regenerate, but to evolve into more limitless potentials. Again, I'll link the Kardashian Scale Prophecy below. It was 1,000 years when I first channeled it. Now the divines, the universes. Again, whenever creation needs something to continue to grow and evolve, it naturally produces. Naturally produces it. The universe is the oneness of all things. Says, hey, we need a Kardashian Scale type 1, type 2, type 3 human being of planet Earth culture within the next 10 years. And so shall it be. Mashallah, bismillah, inshallah, shalom, namaste, assalamu alaikum. Amen. And so it shall be. I'm super excited today, y'all. When I get on this camera, I get a little nervous. We're channeling, it is a meetup. Within the meetups, I transcendentally channel energetic forces, sources, dimensions of the oneness of all things. These energetic forces, sources, dimensions are simultaneously one with limitless potentials of the oneness of all things. I practiced our ancestors' name before I got on camera, baby, over and over again, like for the last hour. Like I was guided to practice. Our ancestor asked me to say his African name, and I was guided to practice it, right? And I did. I got it. Y'all, we gonna get it. I'm not gonna cut any of this out. I practice, I get on camera, I start channeling, I get a little woozy. I get a little dizzy. Let me focus. So the ancestral force, I did that. Nelson Mandela. Baby, said it with confidence. Let the ancestor roll through my spirit. Nelson Mandela. We will be channeling today the ancestor Nelson Mandela. Y'all, I know who Nelson Mandela is. I learned about him in school like everybody else. I was catalyzed onto my rapid spiritual awakening journey 3-4 years ago, where I was just spiritually evolving super quickly. My consciousness expansion was happening rapidly. And this is something the divine needed me to do to assist with the upliftment of all things. I'll link below the Kingdom Things podcast installment. God is a woman. The man and the woman are truly one. I'll link below. You know, every moment of our realities, we're saying what we need to say. We are who we need to be to play our part in limitless potentials or infinite existence or the evolution of all things. This is still very valid. God is a woman. I'll link it below. In the description of this video. I rapid spiritual evolution, consciousness expansion in the last 3-4 years, consciously. And it's my rapid spiritual awakening is cataloged all through up and down Kingdom Things podcast. Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole was a divine mandate from my soul space, my heart space, the oneness of all things, to be my dharmic purpose, or to embody the energies of why I came into existence. And the journey of embodying the energies for the reason as to why we came into existence is an infinite journey, because we are limitless. My activation, spiritual evolution, consciousness expansion journey is cataloged all throughout Kingdom Things podcast. Again, do not replace any of your professional medical advice with anything you hear or experience within Kingdom Things podcast. I share my story, my energies, my wisdoms to assist to be a resource as we, humanity, awaken in the masses. And we, humanity, were created to be a regenerative force energy within all of existence. To love ourselves unconditionally in the way that we accept and grow and evolve ourselves and not run from ourselves, in order to emit these energies of powerful remembrance that we are limitless, that we are one, to assist with uplifting and regenerating all things. I said this to say, I was like, I know who Nelson Mandela is. And I was convening with Nelson Mandela in the spirit when I was in the kitchen a couple hours ago. We were doing pre-production. I was like, I know who you are, Nelson. But I watched, he asked me to go on YouTube and watch a video of him. And I did, of him making a speech and sharing about Nelson Mandela. I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa, you were African? I know y'all laughing like, really? You didn't know he was African? I forgot. And right now, like the being that I am, I'm a 5th to the 9th kind being. So I feel my way through reality. I feel the energies and all the things. And I was like, how did I not know Nelson Mandela was African? He was like, you didn't know I was African? I was like, you're so famous in U.S. pop culture. Like everybody knows the name Nelson Mandela. Now we all didn't know Rolihlahla, but now we do. Rolihlahla, Nelson Mandela. We didn't all know, but everybody knows the name Nelson Mandela. So after we had that conversation, I walked outside and I was just chatting in the spirit with the ancestral forces. And I was calm with my energy. I was like, how did I not know Nelson Mandela was from Africa, an African man? And then the jokes that we make in our pop culture about mistaking Nelson Mandela for Morgan Freeman. I was like, that's why I didn't know, because I was feeling through the energies and that joke came up, and that energy is strong. Like, there's so many jokes I perceived in the ethers about US, about us joking about confusing Morgan Freeman with Nelson Mandela. And then there's a Mandela effect. There's a lot of things going on, convoluted energies around Sir Rolihlahla Nelson Mandela. I was like, I gotta be honest. I was like, whoa, like shoot. And I was like, dang, oceans and evolution. I was like, how did I not know this is my African ancestor? Oceans and evolution. Oceans and evolution, but we became so dissonant to the fibers of our existence. And it's all a part of the makings of us. Why? Whenever creation needs something to continue to grow and evolve, it naturally produces it. How I not know Nelson Mandela was an African man that stood for bringing together black people and white people. Stopping violence against stopping violence between black people and white people, but also wanting to bridge the gap between black and white. How did I not consciously just have that stuck in my big conscious awareness? Like, yeah, oceans and evolution. We always experience what we need to experience. And I'm gonna be honest, I channeled it, and y'all saw it last week or a couple weeks ago. I channeled it within the Kings of Kush. I was so upset. I would grow up in school so mad that I wasn't more deeply entrenched consciously with my African roots and heritage, that I was just being angry instead of like going to the library and buying a book on African history and reading the book to align with energies that will open up my conscious awareness to attract in remembrance of my African heritage, to tap in, because I know my African ancestors were tapping me on the shoulder, but I was super dense when I was younger. That was me. I know not everybody is dense. Some people, they come into react to this realm and they remember that they're limitless potentials. Myself, I was super dense when I was young, so I didn't hear my ancestors telling me, hey, Ashley, don't be sad, go to the library, get a book on African history, read about Nelson Mandela, read about all these people that are one with you. We're all one truly. But if you're upset about your African history, go read about it. And it'll open up your spirit to attract more conscious remembrance of your African heritage, African roots. So I had to share this. And I'm super glad that we're channeling Rolihlahla Nelson Mandela today. I've said all I had to say. I sketched it. Okay, I'll talk about this because I sketched this remembrance. We are limitless potentials, right? And the tangible energies of limitless potentials having a human experience. So understanding that our limitless potentials are quantumly connected and beyond quantum mechanics. So it's really beautiful, vibrant, energetic, and beyond paradigms of our connection with all things. And as we grow and evolve in our immediate conscious awareness, expand our immediate conscious awareness, we uplift and regenerate all things. I had this beautiful awareness. That's what it was. I was like, why did I have this remembrance? I'm gonna show you this picture. Y'all don't laugh because I don't draw, but like I'll channel to get a message across, so my spirit can get a message. My spirit can get a message across, right? I'll channel so my spirit could get a message across, right? So I was like, why did we come into this, Ashley? Me and my spirit's like, why did we have this revelation? Because when I was in the kitchen having pre-production with Rolihlahla Nelson Mandela, when I was in the kitchen having pre-production in the spirit with Rolihlahla Nelson Mandela, Mr. Mandela, Sir Mandela, he's like, Ashley, you don't have to say that every time, sis. He's like, you don't have to say it every time. It's fine. I just want you. When I was in the kitchen having the pre-production meeting with Sir Nelson Mandela, I love it because it makes me feel close to my African roots. When I was in the kitchen having a conversation with Sir Nelson Mandela Sir Mandela for pre-production, I was able to perceive that he's been like studying and practicing and evolving in his mandate that he had when he was incarnated in our density, where we could perceive him as a physical being. We're really ethers. We're really magical energies. And the way we perceive our beingness in all things is a direct reflection on our conscious awareness, the paradigms that we believe in, right? So when he was in density, right, before he transcended into different dimensions of conscious awareness, that mandate that he had, being a pioneering patron of anti-apartheid movements, he still does this in other dimensions of his conscious awareness. Rolihlahla, Nelson Mandela, he still exists. He still studies. He still grows and evolves to play his part to bring together all things, not just black and white people. He's elevated. We're elevating. We know that we now are conscious aware that we are now consciously aware that all is one. We're not going to be dissonant to the fact that we have histories that have energetic dynamics of contention. We laser in on these truly, yes. And we grow and evolve the way we show up in our realities to grow and evolve these contentious relation dynamics between ourselves or each other into more wellness and balance. But we understand that all is one. And the ancestral force, Rolihlahla, Nelson Mandela says, I perceived. He's like, I've been studying for this, Ashley. I've been studying for this. I've been studying for this. I've been studying for this channeling to present my energy, my wisdoms to humanity from what we would know as the other side, a different dimension, perspective, shift of existence from when he stood at podiums and spoke with fervor, passion, brazen disposition, confidence, love. And I was able to perceive that the many dimensions in which we're connected to from the inside and tangibly, quantumly, and beyond connected to from every space of God's creation, we would call these different dimensions our higher selves, right? These higher wisdom dimensions of ourselves that are not focused in this specific conscious awareness of the self, still studies and grows and evolves us in every dimension in which we show up. Whether we're a 3D being, as we perceive it, or we are an 18th, 20th dimensional being. We have dimensions of the self that spawn well beyond the self's conscious awareness of itself at any moment, that guides us, teaches us, grows us. And I was able to perceive the ancestral force, Rolihlahla, Nelson Mandela, being groomed and grown and evolved in his etheric presence. We would perceive it as an etheric presence. And I was like, whoa. And as the character, as the authentic frequency, that is Rolihlahla, Nelson Mandela. And not just etheric energies that have no form, but are limitless, but in dimensionality. Called Rolihlahla, Nelson Mandela. I was like, whoa. I was mind blown, because it busts through paradigms of understanding that we have about afterlife. And the spirit, the soul was like, why are you surprised about this? Because I was able to see it in my mind's eye. The spirit's like, why are you surprised about this? I was like, because we have this understanding in our conscious awareness as human beings of planet Earth, in the masses, that we have a question of like, what happens after we transcend? We think that there's an energy in which we perceive, we feel like the end all be all is our existence in this tangible realm. And then afterwards, we just dissipate, or we go back into a energetic ball of oneness, and we lose our form. No, we transcend. We still have our authentic frequential patterning that we know as me, Ashley-Nicole Phillips, the ancestral force, Rolihlahla, Nelson Mandela, whatever your name is. Grow and evolve our consciousness. We still keep our form. We incorporate new dimensions of limitless potentials or wisdoms to raise our vibrations, to emit an energy, a frequency of wellness and balance, to assist with uplifting and regenerating all things. I'm going to sit back and we're going to channel the ancestor, Sir Rolihlahla, Nelson Mandela. Thank you. Thank you for your energy, for your presence. You're greatly appreciated. Thank you, Ashley. I am beside myself in the way that you are my child. And then simultaneously, I am your child. In the way that when we were in the kitchen, I learned from you. As you were learning from me, I had to retreat. I do apologize. I'm so sorry. As I didn't expect the energetic exchange that took place when you were teaching me as I was teaching you. We have these paradigms in our ancestry that state the elders know best. The state the elders are to guide and teach the youth, the young. I've learned, it's been brought to my conscious awareness, Ashley, through convening with you, that God intended for our children to be evolution. God intended for there to be an exchange of wisdoms and knowledges between the parent and the son, the mother and the father, the child, and the way the relation of the mother and the father and the child exchange to grow and evolve ancestry, at the same time trailblaze into future embodiments of evolution. Thank you, Ashley. Whoa. I'm like, is that all you want to say? He's like, surely, yes. I'm like, no, it's beautiful. I'm not being rude. I'm not trying to be rude. Like, it's beautiful. I just want to make sure that I'm not pushing your energy out. Because I don't want to feel like, I just have to check. Because sometimes I'll get overwhelmed energetically and I'll unconsciously push, the ancestors' energies to the side. I was like, is that all you want to say? He's like, surely, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ancestor. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ancestral force. Rolihlahla, Nelson Mandela, former president of South Africa, presiding president of South Africa in spirit, as he is stating he'll always be a nurturing guide to South Africa, South Africans, all of Africa, all Africans. Thank you. I was a channel. Thank you, Sir Nelson Mandela. Thank you, Sir Mandela. Thank you, Rolihlahla, Nelson Mandela. I want to thank y'all so much for joining me on this Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips Meetup. Thanks again to the ancestral forces. Rolihlahla, Nelson Mandela. Like this video. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Follow if you're watching on Spotify. Share the content to help proliferate the Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips. Journey to a healed and balanced human culture of planet Earth. We're truly all one. Yo. And the way that in any way that our authentic frequential patterning shows up, embrace it. Any way that your authentic frequential patterning shows up, embrace it. Learn from it. Grow with yourself. Love yourself. Be open-hearted with yourself. To allow yourself to be a vessel of wisdom, limitless potentials, healing energies, a force, source of wellness for humanity, human culture, planet Earth, and all things. When you're done here with Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips, I also have another healing channel. Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment is available to stream for free on YouTube, link below. Within Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, y'all, we have group powwow sessions. Powwow sessions I call whenever I'm coming my energy, speaking in the spirit with the ancestral forces, the oneness of all things, the self, the soul, to heal and uplift paradigms, to break free of limitations. I call these powwow sessions. We do this within Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. Do not replace any of your professional medical advice with anything you experience or hear within Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. I also offer personal powwow sessions. I'm nervous about these, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm offering them, and I offer them to play my part, do my due diligence. The divine says there's some people that are gonna need this service, Ashley, so I need you to provide it. The individual powwow sessions are available to book. Link below in the description. Kingdom Things Podcast Healing Home Square Portal. I don't take a lot of those. Whatever is available, go ahead and have at it. I'm also a home chef, y'all. I love to cook. I intuitively cook whatever the ancestral forces tell me to put in the pot, the pan, the baking dish. This is what we put into the pot, the pan, the baking dish. Magic Meals with Ashley-Nicole Phillips is available to stream on YouTube. Y'all, we go to the grocery store. We use mystery ingredients. Sometimes those mystery ingredients, we do our best, but they don't work out the best. So sometimes it's a night. Your mom be like, did you eat though? Mama, I don't like this. Did you eat? Sometimes it's a did you eat night. And sometimes it's a good night. Either way, we have a good time. Sometimes we get divine revelations. Sometimes we do joke. We gonna say some funnies. We gonna have some good wisdom talks. We might have the miscellaneous conversations. Either way, we have fun. We have a good time. Again, Magic Meals with Ashley-Nicole Phillips is available to stream on YouTube, link below. I'm also an author, y'all. I authored the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel, which has been and is a part of my rapid spiritual awakening journey. My soul, my spirit, the oneness of all things. Like, hey, Ashley, you don't remember who you are. We're going to channel some books to you to help you remember. That's where we got the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel. The first 2 parts are Asia's story. The first book, Coming Home, the story of Asia. Second book, the story of Asia, I'm home. Asia is a teenage girl growing up in a New York City foster care system. She's catalyzed onto her spiritual awakening journey when she meets her twin flame Chase in the hallway of her school, Manhattan Prep. She goes through a lot of existential crises, as we would see it. But at the same time, these crises help her remember and awaken to her limitless potentials, to begin the journey of evolution. Understanding evolution is to grow into more. Limitless potentials, wellness, and balance. In order to reflect, mirror, project a reality that mirrors the more wellness, limitless potentials, and balance. The third part of the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel is My Other Half, y'all. My Other Half is such a beautiful composition, beautiful book. One soul, 2 bodies, many lifetimes. It's many love stories in one book. This one soul, 2 bodies, and over many lifetimes. It's a twin flame, divine counterpart, kingdom spouse journey back home to God's side, or the remembrance that we are limitless potentials that exist to grow and evolve into more conscious awareness of our limitless potentials, to be wellness, balance, upliftment for whatever realm we find ourselves in. One soul, 2 bodies, many lifetimes. They know they're supposed to co-create a love and a life together. Each lifetime says that this love can't work. They will co-create a love and a life together. Which lifetime? Under which circumstances? The book is prophetic, y'all. This is the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel. It is available in the Amazon bookstore. If you're doing all digital downloads, you have 3 separate downloads, which total $29.97 plus tax. That's linked below. Specified link below for the digital downloads. If you're doing paperback copies mailed to your home, it's 2 separate bindings. The first 2 parts, Asia's story, is in one binding. The third part, My Other Half, is in its own binding. $29.98 for the 3 stories and 2 bindings. $29.98 plus tax. Specified links below in the description of this Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips meetup. I want to come invite y'all to come experience, be a part of Asia's Story, the animated series. Asia's Story, the animated series does stem from the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel. The conscious experiences that I have in which I'm consciously aware of, multidimensional experiences in which I have, in which I'm consciously aware of, that are really, we would see it as far out there, are really big, really grand, really limitless. I channel these experiences with Asia's animated series to share the wisdoms, the funnies, the fun, the healing energies. Do not replace any of your professional medical advice with anything you've experienced or hear within Asia's animated series. Asia's animated series is available to stream for free on my author's YouTube channel, AP Short Stories, link below in the description of this video. I'm super excited for y'all to experience Asia's animated series. I'm also a singer-songwriter, which I love to do. I love creating music. I heal in the spirit in my sessions. I started recording my sessions live, which you are able to view on my channel, my music channel, Ashley-Nicole Music, which is available to stream on YouTube, link below. I started recording my sessions live. So I heal in the spirit, right? Sometimes I know we're about to heal in the session. Sometimes we freestyling. I don't know yet. Either way, we have a good time. We heal in the spirit. Sometimes we cry. Sometimes it gets intense. We get really powerful downloads and wisdoms, divine revelations. We heal in the spirit, and I channel the healing energies and messages and melodies, lyrics, incantations within the music. I hope there's genres, healing energies, lyrics that help you evolve into more of your limitless potentials, conscious awareness of your limitless potentials, conscious awareness and embodiment of your limitless potentials as universally aligned, universally assigned for the upliftment and regeneration of all things. May it be your most abundant experience as you intended to experience and be before you incarnate as who you are, and your authentic frequency, your authentic depiction, dimensionality of limitless potentials, or divine experience, divine creation, divine beingness, the I am. I also have a live action series, which I'm super proud of and super excited about. It's all intuitive, an intuitive flow from the inner space. I set intentions, and I go on my walks, and I chat with the soul or the universe or the oneness of all things. Like, hey, Ashley, follow your guidance. We're going to co-create this together. We got out of the box. We got out of the box. It's about what we're all going through. We're awakening within the dream, awakening from the illusions or paradigms of finite limitation to more of our limitless potentials. The remembrance that we are limitless potentials, having an experience in a simulation or an energetic creation that we know as God, Allah, the divine. Every dimension of our simulation or experience is one with the oneness of all things or limitless potentials or God, Allah. Every dimension of what we experience is benevolent, because everything that we experience is always intended to grow us into greater conscious awareness, wellness, and balance. The divine told me, hey, Ashley, there's nothing in which you experience that's ever meant to harm you. Everything's only meant to grow you into more conscious awareness, more wellness, more balance. That is your limitless potentials. We're going to go ahead and roll into an installment, an episode of Asia's Story, the anime series. I love you. Love on yourself. Self-love is the best love because you have to love yourself in the way in which you want your reality to love you back. Self-love is the best love because you are loving your truest truth. Give that love to yourself first. Self-love is the best love because it helps you perceive, be, embody more of your limitless potentials. I'm going to see y'all later. Bye. Hey, my name is Asia, and I am an interdimensional being. I know. I just found out myself. Everything that I thought was my truth was a lie. I chose to continue this life because of the one thing that I know isn't a lie. Love.
So, you're saying a soul contracted dimension of my journey or life included operating out of forgetfulness or dense vibrations in order to reject and project my soul's frequency, in order to create a false sense of separation between myself and everything that presents in my reality, in order to gather the wisdom, experience, and knowledge of self to manifest reality, or create my life from new perspectives.
Precisely.
You've got it. And I was withholding my heightened dimensions and knowledge of self from my masculine aspects of self, which affected my ability to realign with my master manifesting gifts on this plane of reality, Earth.
Once again, dear Asia, you are correct.
Yes, dear one.
But I awakened years ago.
Yes, and you successfully assisted with setting the trajectory for the human's rapid
and concurrent evolution.
I knew Asia was a big piece of my puzzle, but she's changing the whole picture I thought I was putting together.
Asia is assisting you with meeting new dimensions of your soul's desires. Asia is assisting you with perceiving what your soul intended and simultaneously chose to create.
As reality is happening all at once, everything that has and will happen is happening all at once. You and Asia manifested each other's creation through your thoughts and intentions throughout all space and time.
What does this mean?
You are because she is. And she is because you are.
We met in Astral.
Yeah.
How do you feel about what we learned about ourselves?
I feel more complete. Before, I felt hollow inside. As we come into alignment with our soul's wisdoms, parts of ourselves that have heightened awareness of our truths, I feel more complete.
I knew I would find you someday. I'm glad it's you I found. Do you want breakfast?
Yes. Please. So, I'm up. Early in the AM. Per usual. 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Witching hours. I try to make the efforts to use this time to get closer to myself. I have internal wisdom that has taught me about the energetic implications of being able to perceive new dimensions of self when the human consciousness at mass is at rest. I have a line with the new mantra. I cannot be defined or confined by my thought patterns. Here it is, 4:41 a.m., and I have been able to perceive limiting thought patterns that I held in my subconscious to rewrite my understandings of myself and my reality, to create or manifest a reality more reflective of my inner truths, or soul. You are about to witness another night of well-resting and astral healing. Karma. Before grounding the dream of mine and Chase's family, I need to clear mine and Chase's bloodlines. Karma. Precisely, Asya. Do you understand what this means? Face the root causes for all misfortunes. It's all energy deep. Energies that are passed down as familial inheritances. We humans attach to one another by identifying and holding on to each other as into karmic energy imbalances. Yes. Why, yes. How do I fix this? You just did.
I'm changing. And I'm not always sure what's going on with me. You are experiencing a spiritual or energetic awakening.
You've never experienced before. Humanity's never experienced before.
What should I do? Be patient and love on yourself. Love yourself into the new embodiments of yourself.
This way, you will no longer fear energetic or spiritual evolution. You will welcome it, my dear one. My name is Asya, and I'm a teenage witch. Just kidding. I am a starseed. My story is much like humanity's story. I awakened to some pretty spectacular things about myself. Coming home, the story of Asya, followed by the story of Asya, I'm home. The book series that introduces the book. After returning from a day's trip, I have read my Atum's letter. He speaks of my father releasing him from imprisonment and the fate of death. He pleads for us to run away together. This plea is one of which there is no state to decline. My other half, available in the Amazon bookstore. Though I was born here on Earth to find you. I was created to find my person. The Unconditional Love Literature Parcel, now available in the Amazon bookstore.
You're up.
I've been up for a while, spiritually speaking, and I couldn't sleep after the meeting with the ancestors on Astral.
I want to mirror to you the best parts of yourself. I no longer want to mirror to you the energies that gaslight us, gaslight you, gaslight me, out of the knowing in which we know, soul deep.
Talk over herbal tea?
Yeah, that sounds nice.